Soldier Blue is mental. It's one of the most savage westerns ever made, and in this video we're going to talk about why. This video was requested by channel member John Eastwood. If you wish to request what I review on the channel, please consider clicking the join button below. Soldier Blue takes place during the American Indian Wars of the late 19th century. Based on the notorious real-life Sand Creek massacre, the film tells the story of a tough young woman named Cresta, played by Candice Bergen, and a traumatized soldier called Honus, played by Peter Strauss. Peter Strauss' performance as Honus is stunning. It's so convincing and human, and from the heart. From the very beginning of the film, you feel sorry for him. That moment where he says a sad prayer for his group after a terrible attack is heart-wrenching. He just completely nails the sadness, the overwhelm, the hopelessness of this senseless situation just taking him over.
Into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell. There's not to reason why. There's but to do and die. Into the valley of death. Road 600.
This won't be the first time this film tears you apart, but dear God, if this is early on, you know you're in for a real emotional ordeal. The first attack scene is crazy, and the aftermath is emotionally devastating, and as the film goes on you realise this is all about the harsh reality of the brutal actions humans take against each other. It's an uncompromising look at how badly we can hurt and judge our fellow man. Honus represents the disillusionment and the trauma experienced by soldiers in the midst of conflict. He provides the eye that we never see in battle, the one that witnesses what's going on and can't believe it. I've always wondered if there are soldiers like that, who when it actually comes to it, just can't go through with it and instead end up just watching the terror unfold. Honus isn't a coward, he's just someone who cannot deal with how far things have gone. He's horrified by what it's come to. And he's a perfect example of how sometimes we don't actually need those strong, blind, macho men. We need soldiers with a conscience, who won't cross the line into senseless savagery. Cresta, played by Candice Bergen, is a very strong female character. She has a lot of conviction and stands up to the males around her. She's also pretty hilarious at times, and you can never predict what she's going to say next. She's a bit of a nutter, to be honest. Cresta is full of resilience and empathy, but at the same time she is flawed and at times says and does questionable things. However, her heart is in the right place, and it's this genuinity that draws Honus to her. She reaches out to the Native Americans and tries to warn them, sacrificing her safety and leaving her own people in favour of being there for those who are in need. And at the heart of Soldier Blue, the movie is clearly about two very good people in Honus and Cresta, and how they're reacting to just everyone around them going completely and utterly mental. And their belief in good leaves you with at least some positivity when you witness the horrific events that take place. While the film is serious and brutal, it mixes those parts with some levity and gentle scenes between Honus and Cresta. I haven't worked out yet whether I find this jarring or not, because it's almost like the film has two conflicting styles. It's trying to be this sweet little romance, and in the next minute it's a complete full-on crazy attack on the senses, devastating experience. I mean, maybe the whole idea is about how these events literally could happen at any time, and while there is beauty to be found in life, the enemy is always around the corner. Understandably, perhaps director Ralph Nelson was just like, I have to have some sort of levity, even if these two vibes don't mix. I have to do it. And the two actors do very well. I do care about their romance. I think they have chemistry and a fun back and forth. I just might have written it a bit different and, you know, not played cartoonish music, which they do at times. It just seems to not fit with a film that in the very next scene might have someone's head get cut off. The final attack scene shocked me to my very core. I was not expecting this. I had heard what Soldier Blue was supposed to be like, and I still was not expecting it. It's one of the most devastating sequences in the history of film. It's unforgettable. One of the most affecting things about it is it kind of looks like it might not even be that terrible at first, just the battle, but then the worst things possible start to happen really fast in your face, completely uncompromising. This is just the worst of humanity on display. The savagery of the human ego, and the idea of just foregoing morality, and forgetting about our common connections in favour of just our worst impulses. There are people getting killed left and right, abused left and right, blown apart, shot, ripped to shreds. This scene will leave a lasting impact on you that you won't soon forget. It still sends shivers up my spine to even talk about it, really. And again, you have Cresta and Honus witnessing this, and they feel like the two only sane people who just have to watch a hurricane of madness happen around them, and they cannot do anything about it. It's about the helplessness of when humanity gets out of control, who can change it? How can two genuinely good people even make any impact when it's just all going on and no one wants to stop? I can actually understand the backlash this film got, because many do not like to confront the misdeeds of their home country. Soldier Blue really focuses in on the mistreatment of Native Americans, and by highlighting the Sand Creek Massacre, the film sheds light on one of the darkest chapters in American history, and one that a lot of Americans would rather forget. That's why I really respect this film. It's incredibly brave and unapologetic about raising these important questions about colonialism, racism, and the consequences of unchecked power. This film is about turning the mirror on yourself and realising that what we project onto others, we need to get our own deeds in order first. Every country is capable of horrors, and yours is not exempt just because you are emotionally attached to it. Soldier Blue is a truly significant film, and its unflinching portrayal of historical events has to be respected. It completely ripped up the Western genre and started again. Director Ralph Nelson makes a great Western. There's the landscapes, there's the fun, there's the quirkiness, but then he just turns it into this anti-war statement, which I don't understand how anyone can watch this film and come away with it ever being in support of any war ever again. It should change your life, this film, if you watch it with an open mind. It's a thought-provoking piece of work, and one you will never forget. Thanks to John for the request, and thanks everyone for watching. Please consider subscribing if you love analysis and retrospectives on classic films, and I'll see you guys next time.